You ever let a guy walk away and then wish more than anything that you could get him to come back? Hi, this is Mike Fiore, and in this short video, I'm going to show you how to use tiny little text messages sent from the cell phone you've got in your pocket or purse right now to get your ex-boyfriend to forgive you for everything you feel like you've done wrong, to forget once and for all about any other girl, and to do anything he has to wrap you in his arms again, begging for your forgiveness, fighting for your attention, and swearing up and down that getting back together is 100% his idea. In fact, even though this might sound impossible now, after you watch this video and do what it says, you'll be shocked at how quickly his attitude towards you changes, how he finds himself thinking about you, craving you, and even fantasizing about you all day long, how that horrible tightness, pain, and regret in your chest starts to fade away, how he calls you on the phone just to hear your voice, and finally, how he even begs you to get together to talk, flirts with you like he did when you first met, gives you all of his attention, and does everything he can to make you his again, and to make sure you never get away from him again. I'm going to teach you exactly what to do in just a moment. I shared a variation on this weird but shockingly effective boyfriend texting technique with Rachel Ray when I appeared on her nationally syndicated television show, and she said it gave her chills. But first, we need to talk about the tiny mistake you made without even knowing it that could keep you and your boyfriend from ever getting back together again. If you're like most women, your relationship and breakup probably followed a variation of this really depressing timeline. You broke up and told each other you were going to be friends, that you were still going to be close, and still were going to love each other in some way. But I think if you admit it, you'll realize you're not really friends at all now. All your friends and your family are probably telling you to give up and to move on, telling you things like there are other fish in the sea and if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But while you're being miserable by yourself and going crazy wanting him, he's off with that cute girl from the office who you never liked in the first place. And ever since the breakup, you felt this crazy, overwhelming, obsessive desire for him. You've left long, rambling messages on his voicemail, saying all the things you think you should have said when you were together. You've texted him like crazy and felt like you were going to pull your hair out when he wouldn't text you back. You've apologized, begged, pleaded. You've asked his friends about him and freaked out at the idea of him seeing someone else. And you've done everything you could think of to try to get the relationship you had with him back. And no matter what you've done, what you said, how hard you apologized, how much you told him he was right or promised to change, it's been like ramming your head again and again into a brick wall. And I bet you're wondering, like so many women have before you, why? Why is it that the man who used to look at you with so much love and desire when you first got together won't even give you the time of day now? Why does he ignore you? Why doesn't he love you anymore when you can't stop thinking about him? And what can you do to heal that massive rift between you and finally convince him to give you another chance? To look at you again, touch you again, talk to you again, make you feel the way only he can make you feel? To answer that question, I need to reveal a few simple truths about the way relationships really work and about the way a man's romantic mind works that no one has ever told you before, and show you how to penetrate the wall he's put around his heart and hotwire his desire and love for you in a weird but staggeringly effective way, even if he swears he doesn't have any feelings for you now. First things first. Fact. The relationship you had with your boyfriend is dead and it's never coming back. Okay, I know that sounds harsh, but it's actually pretty cool. Let me explain. If you're like most women, ever since you and your ex broke up, you've been doing everything you could to turn back the clock and get the relationship you had back. But honestly, trying to get your boyfriend back is like trying to perform emergency CPR on a corpse. Usually, it's just a big waste of time, and even when it works, it doesn't last. A few extra breaths at best, or you might become one of those couples who are constantly breaking up and getting back together and driving each other nuts. After helping women around the world, appearing on national television and radio, being interviewed by Time magazine, and going through some nasty breakups of my own, I once got dumped over email, I can tell you The moment you broke up, the relationship you and your boyfriend had was over forever. And as hard as it is to believe right now, that's actually a good thing. The fact is, if you handle it right, your old relationship ending isn't a tragedy. It's a huge opportunity to hit the reset button, create a more powerful love, and do things right. A way for you to move past all the pain and anger and create a devoted, passionate relationship that's stronger than ever, stronger than anyone thought it could be. After all, you and your boyfriend broke up for a reason, or maybe a lot of little reasons that just added up. And if you just try to get him back without addressing the reasons things ended deep in his mind at a true and primal level, you're doomed to end up right back where you are now. Alone, miserable, and desperate to see him and feel him again, while he moves on to find a girl who can satisfy his deep primal needs. That's the bad news. The good news is that even though you can't have your old relationship back, and you really don't want it anyway, you can use the simple methods I'm about to reveal to create a new and better relationship with him from day one. The relationship you were supposed to have, where you love each other, desire each other, talk openly and honestly, support each other, and just enjoy each other every day without even thinking about having another one of those fights. In other words, if you do it right, you can finally be happy together. But in order to have any chance at all to build this new romance with you, your boyfriend needs you to do 3 things. First, you need to erase the bad memories he has from the end of your relationship and remind him of the woman he fell in love with in the first place, the woman he can't resist, the woman he's truly meant to spend the rest of his life with. Like I said, your old relationship is gone. You need to get rid of all the pain and hurt and bad memories that are blocking his love for you. Second, you need to make him feel seen and understood by you in a way no other woman can possibly offer. Let him know that he's safe with you, and give him permission to be who he truly is without fear of being judged. And third, you need to flat out seduce him. You need to cut past his rational mind and drag his sexual desire and focus onto you where it belongs so he can't even think of another woman. So how do you do all that? Well, as you've already proven to yourself, you don't do it by calling him up and leaving long, desperate voicemail messages. You don't do it by writing him long letters written in emotional language men just don't understand. You don't do it by just showing up places where you know he's going to be, flirting and playing with your hair. It might sound shocking, but the best way to crawl inside your ex-boyfriend's mind, erase all the built-up anger and hurt, and have him actually craving you, is by sending him certain text messages that crawl deep into his mind and that he can't help but respond to. Now, if you're like most women, you might be thinking, texting? I've already tried texting him, and no matter what I say to him, it doesn't work. But again, I'm not talking about texts where you beg or plead for him back, where you apologize profusely, act needy, and kill any attraction he may still have for you. I'm talking about simple, powerful texts that have been specifically designed and proven again and again to tickle the primal romantic center of his mind, that cut past the unfeeling act he puts up and let him feel how much he misses you, and that even if he doesn't respond right away, causes a simple idea to grow in his mind and to repeat itself over and over and over again. I made a mistake. I'll never find anyone like her, and I'll do anything to get her back. I shared just one of my simple texting techniques with Rachel Ray when I appeared on her show. Her jaw dropped open when I gave her a few of my magic texts to try, got every woman in the audience to gasp, and used a couple from the audience to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt how truly powerful this texting thing can be, and the astonishing effect it has on a man if you simply do it right. Plain and simple, and as weird as it sounds, sending the right, seemingly innocent texts to your ex-boyfriend can have a shocking and drastic impact on how he thinks about you, and will create an amazing, intimate channel between you that no one can interfere with. Why does it work so well? Because you already know him better than anyone else possibly could. And because by texting him the right way, you can feed him the kind of secret fantasies and emotional bait he's genetically programmed to respond to. Wherever he is, whenever you want, you can paint a smile across his face and build his desire for you to a fever pitch, no matter how hard he tries to resist. With the right text, you can remind him of why he fell for you in the first place and make him feel that overwhelming thrill he felt when you first kissed, that thrill that told him, this is the one. You can have secret conversations with him and create a private fantasy world where he can open up and be unapologetically romantic without feeling embarrassed or exposed. Do it right, and he won't be able to help but forgive you. Will see you as the sexiest, most desirable woman on the planet, the woman he's truly meant to be with. And will find himself dreaming of you, noticing how other women simply don't measure up to what he knows he can have with you, regretting ever letting you go for even a moment, and scheming about ways to win you back. All without you having to beg or plead, without slipping back into those old, dangerous patterns that got you where you are now in the first place, without anyone else having to know or being able to interfere, and all by pushing a few buttons on your cell phone. When you think about it, you'll realize that when you use it right, texting is like an emotional Trojan horse, where you can send your boyfriend simple, safe texts that secretly appeal to his deepest desires and emotions and bring him back to you no matter how long he's been gone. Okay, Mike, I understand how powerful this is, and I see how I can use magical text messages to get him to forgive me and bring him back into my life, but how do I actually do it? Glad you asked, because I've got a really good answer for you. Like I said, my name is Michael Fiore. That's a picture of me right there. And I'd like to teach you, like I've taught thousands of women around the world, how to use tiny little text messages sent from the cell phone in your purse right now as a romantic tractor beam that sneaks directly into the sex, desire, and romance center of your boyfriend's brain, forcing him to focus on what he secretly loves about you and quite literally dragging him back into your life. And he'll do it with a huge smile on his face and convinced that calling you, seeing you, talking to you, touching you is 100% his idea. How? By introducing you to a simple step-by-step boyfriend getting back system I call Text Your Ex Back. Text Your Ex Back is a step-by-step system that uses tiny little text messages sent from your average cell phone to cause your ex-boyfriend to connect with you on a deep and primal level. To see you as the woman he's always wanted without you having to actually change at all, and to have him forgetting about any other woman in his life and moving mountains to get you to give things one more try. And you'll do it all literally at the push of a button. When you grab your copy of Text Your Ex Back today, you'll discover how to magnetically attract his attention no matter where he is, no matter how busy he is, how long it's been, or how angry it is. All by using the simple across the bow text no man can ignore, even if he won't respond to your text now. Next, you'll discover Text Judo, why hate and anger are not the opposite of love, and how to use your boyfriend's existing emotions against him to wake up the love and desire he's trying to deny. You'll learn how to use best of the relationship texts to mentally transport him back to the best times you ever had together. You'll be shocked at how eager he is to think about the good old days and how he starts wondering what it would feel like to hold you in his arms again. I'll show you how to use intimacy booster texts to open up his heart and give him the emotional support he secretly craves. He'll yearn for you when you send this simple message. You'll also discover the green-eyed monster text and how to use positive jealousy to have him ready to fight for you and feeling desperate for your affection. Emotional honesty texts are next. Think your guy isn't emotional? In Text Your Ex Back, I'll show you how to blow by the BS and get your boyfriend to tell you how he really, truly feels over text without ever worrying about stumbling over his words or coming on too strong. Emotional honesty texts are basically the nuclear bomb of ex-boyfriend seduction. I'll show you exactly what to do to literally bring tears to his eyes and have his whole body shuddering with desire for you just by saying 7 simple words. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. As you get into the more advanced material, you'll also discover why texting is the magic key to his libido, how to turn him on simply by tapping a few buttons with your thumbs, and the exact irresistible text that will crawl into his deepest sexual mind and have him thinking of you as a seductive goddess. Warning, don't be surprised if he drunk dials you or drunk texts you right after you send this text. And if the sex is wilder, hotter, and better than anything